SKJ. Welcome to my third lecture. In the last class you studied types of surveying and classification of surveying. So today's class I am going to explain the principle of surveying, scales and shrinkage of maps. So starting from principle of surveying. First we studied surveying, that is the process of finding the relative position of various points on the surface of the earth by measuring distance among them and setting up a map to any reasonable scale. So in the principle of surveying, there are various methods of surveying are established on very simple fundamental principles. The surveying basic principle can be stated under two aspects. Number one, to locate the position of a point by measuring from two reference points. Number two, to work from whole to part. So these are the two principles of surveying. So we will go through these two principles of surveying, starting from the first, to locate a point with reference to 2 points. The relative positions of the points to be surveyed should be located by taking measurement from at least 2 points of reference. Points of reference are points whose position is already fixed. Let us consider 2 points, saying that x and y be the two reference points whose position is fixed. The distance x and y can be measured accurately and the relative position of x and y can be plotted on sheet using some scale. Now with the help of x and y, those reference points will get any point z can be located on ground by following direct methods. Case number 1. Distance between x, z and yz is measured, then point z can be located by swinging an arcs from x and y of the respective distance. This principle is used in chain surveying. In the case number 2, a perpendicular line ZC can be dropped on the reference line XY. Length of XC and ZC is measured. Thus, point Z is plotted using a set square. This principle is used for defining details. In the case number 3, distance between XZ and angle between YXZ or distance between YZ and angle between YXZ is measured, then point Z can be located by using protractor or applying rules of trigonometry. So this principle is used in traversing. In the case number 4, the angle YXZ and angle XYZ is measured using angle measuring instrument such as clinometer, and point Z is located using protractor or using triangle formulas. This principle is used in triangulation. In the case 5, the angle ZYX and distance XZ is measured. Point Z can be located using swinging an angle arc from Y and distance arc from X. Now here we studied the first principle, how to locate the third point with the reference of 2 points with the help of direct method. Now coming to the second principle, that is to work from whole to part. So It is very essential to establish first a system of control points and to fix them with higher precision. Control points can be established by less precision methods, and the details can be located using these minor control points by running minor traverses. So by this statement I will elaborate and I will give you an example so that you will have a clear idea what is control points and what is minor points. So let us take one example. Two points A and B are joined by making a straight line. So here A and B points are considered as control points. Now here we are going to divide the line AB in many parts by taking intermediate points such as C, D, E, F. The intermediate points, what we are going to say as minor control points, whereas A and B point is said to be control points. The total length of A to B is going to be whole, and to this line we are going to make it parts. For example, AC, CD, DE, EF and FB. If you add all these parts, you will get the total length, that is AB, and that total length is going to be whole and divisions are going to be parts. In case measuring the length AC, CD, DE, FB, any of this part length gets error due to error in measuring tape or chain or reading during taking measurements, which will affect only that particular part. Later we can minimize the error for the particular part. By using this principle, accumulation of error is minimized. If you work from part to whole, accumulation of error will be maximized. That is why we are going to make use of work from whole to part rather to work from part to whole. Now next topic is scales in surveying. So what is scale? So scale is defined as the ratio of the distance marked on the plan to the corresponding distance on the ground. Generally, scales are termed as large, medium and small, whereas large scale, that is 1 centimeter, which is equal to 10 centimeter or less than 10 centimeter. Whereas medium scale, that is 1 centimeter, which is equal to 10 meter to 100 meter. Small scale, that is 1 centimeter equal to 100 meter or more than 100 meter. Now next, types of scale used in surveying. Plane scale, diagonal scale, chord scale, vernier scale, micro scale. These are the types of scales used in surveying. In the plane scale, it is possible to measure two successive dimensions only, where you can say x and y axis. In diagonal scale, it is possible to measure three successive dimensions like x axis, y axis and z axis. Next, coming to chord scale, it is used to set out angles without using a protractor. Next, coming to vernier scale, it is a device for measuring accurately the fractional part of the smallest division on a graduated scale. and the last one, that is micro scale. It is a device which enables a measurement to be taken to a still finer degree of accuracy. Now we'll study the representation of a scale. So there are different scales we're going to represent in manner: engineered scale, representative scale, representative fraction, what we're going to say in short RF, and graphical scale. So starting from engineering scale. So in the engineering scale, we're going to represent as 1 centimeter, which is equal to 50 meter. Whereas in representative fraction, in short RF, so here we are going to make use as it is the ratio of the distance on the map to the corresponding distance on the ground taken as same units. For example, scale of 1 centimeter, which is equal to 50 meter. So all the units we are going to represent in the same units. So 50 meter we are going to make it in centimeter, so it's going to be 5000 centimeter. So 1 centimeter on the map represent 50 meter, or you can say 5000 centimeter on the ground. Therefore the representative fraction RF is going to be 1 divided by 5000, or 1:5000. The last one, that is graphical scale. A graphical scale is a line drawn on the map so that its map distance corresponds to a convenient units of the length on the ground. So here you can see the chart for different purpose of survey at different scales. Shrinkage of maps will happen due to old age of maps or maps which is exposed to atmospheric condition. Therefore, shrinkage factor or shrinkage ratio is the ratio of shrunk length to the actual length, whereas shrunk scale, which is equal to original scale multiplied to shrinkage factor. I hope you understood today's topic what I covered. 1. Principle of surveying. 2. Scales. And 3. Shrinkage of maps. So in the next class I will explain some problems on scales and shrinkage of maps. See you in the next class. Thanks for watching and subscribe to my channel.